I have stated several times on this show that the MVP is simply the sports writers pushing an agenda and pushing a narrative that they want players to abide by or creating their own story. It's never who's the best player or who's got the most points or who's playing the best, because you'll see a whole bunch of things. Just look at baseball, for example. Giancarlo Stanton hits all those home runs on a losing team. Joey Votto has that great season on the losing team. Nolan Arenado has a great season on a playoff team and can't touch either of them in votes. Really? And then you have the American League, the same sports writers who sit there and have Jose Altuve win MVP because he's the best player on the best team. Like, there's just so many different narratives and stories sports writers create when they're voting for MVP that, while an MVP is nice on your resume, how I value an MVP at this point in my life is far less than I did when I was a kid. Whereas a kid, you see some guys like, oh, he's the MVP. He must be the best player in the sport. Or he's one of the best guys in the league. No, not really. I will say the one narrative, though, that they do push, and they're pretty consistent about, is MVP for great players, right? You have your ascended MVP, which is, I've become this elite level player, and this is my first elite level season. I get rewarded my MVP for that. You know, when LeBron got his first MVP, when Mike got his first MVP, praying James Harden will get an MVP at some point. Then you have your, I am staying at this elite level MVP, which is basically 2 to 3 years of just, I'm the best guy in the league, and I'm getting rewarded for my MVPs. AKA LeBron getting back-to-back MVPs, Kareem winning back-to-back MVPs, Mike winning back-to-back MVPs. Like, that is the, I'm here to stay, I'm the best player in the sport, recognize me. Then you have the final MVP. And the final MVP is took a few years off from getting some MVPs because they wanted to give it to other guys. They didn't want the one guy only winning the MVP and if he was the best player in the sport. And then it was, after that 3 or 4 year stretch, the guy who was at the top of his game delivered another record-breaking, I'm still the best season, and receives his final MVP. So why do I bring that up? Because going off those and showing and going off of history and what it shows us that they do with the MVP award, Tom Brady is your 2017 NFL MVP. Tom Brady already has 2 MVPs. He's already got his 07 MVP. I've ascended into this great quarterback class, which a lot of people are going to say, wow, 07, how can you say they already had 3 Super Bowls? But if you look at Tom Brady, he was not a statistically great quarterback or even he's not the same quarterback he was those first 6 years. In 07, he had ascended into elite level quarterback, both statistically and just mannerisms and all that stuff. And then you had 2010, which was the record-breaking season, which was, I'm still elite, recognize me, I'm still this great. I apologize, I flip-flopped those 2 years. 07 was the year with Randy Moss that he broke all the records, and then 2010 was the I'm still elite, here we are. And now you're going closer to the final MVP, which is, I'm still great, I've taken a couple years off from getting MVPs, but I'm going to show you in this last record-breaking effort that I am still MVP caliber and I'm still this great at my craft. And people are going to say, well, how can you justify that? Let me give you some examples since you were so kind to ask. When Mike got his final MVP in 1998, the 97-98 season, guess what the Bulls did that year? Oh, yeah, that's right. They won 72 games. He's still Michael Jordan. He's still elite. He's still the best player in the sport. And he gave you another record-breaking season to justify giving him the MVP, despite trying to give it to other guys who are not as good as him. Let's look at LeBron. When did LeBron win his final MVP? Oh, when he led the Heat to 66 wins, the most he's ever had in a season. And Dwayne Wade only played 54 games. And LeBron shot a career-high 56%. Oh, that's right. LeBron was still elite, still the best player in the sport, and he was rewarded with an MVP for giving them another record-breaking performance. Let's think even in his own sport. When was Peyton Manning, who's won 5 MVPs, when was his last? When he threw 55 touchdowns in 2013. And he set the record for touchdown passes, yards, and Denver set the all-time scoring record. Peyton Manning had been elite. Peyton Manning had been big time. Understandably, he was For Peyton, it was slightly different because he had the injuries a couple years before, but already proven he could come back and throw 30-plus touchdowns. He gave them the record-breaking, hey, this is my final act, my final piece of hardware as I ride out. Tom Brady is currently sitting at 22 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and barring something drastically happening, is going to get himself around 35, 36 touchdowns to only 3 picks. That will set the record, which he already has, of breaking touchdown to interception ratio. And the difference between this year and last year when he set the record is last year he played 12 games. And the narrative was, you can't give him if he's played 12 games. He's only played 75% of the season. He's not MVP. Really could have won it last year. There is no 4 games missed this year. The Patriots are going to win 13 games. He might not throw another interception. He might go up to 37, 38 touchdowns with only the 2 picks. Which, that in itself is a mind-blowing fucking stat. Tom Brady has become elite, stayed elite, and this is his hoorah. I'm still that good. I'm giving you the record-breaking season that I need, that record-breaking season to you guys as the sports writers to vindicate why you can give me MVP. And Tom Brady will be your 2017 NFL MVP. Sorry, Carson Wentz. You're awesome. You're great. And it's a great storyline with you to be the second-year QB who's risen to this new standard of excellence and delivered all these great performances. But you don't have Tom Brady's resume. You don't have Tom Brady's stats. And you don't have Tom Brady's reputation. Once again, Tom Brady will be your 2017 NFL MVP. If you saw or heard anything that you liked, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you have not already, go follow me on Snapchat, JKid9080, or Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or iTunes at HardFoulPodcast. And I will see you guys on Monday.